Hey guys, Vass here from Aussie RC Playground and welcome to another episode of RC Pit Stop. Today we're going to be doing some upgrades on the eMTA G2. Now if you guys have seen the running videos, you know how this guy's been performing, which hasn't been too bad. It's actually been holding up pretty well. The body itself has got beaten up pretty badly, but I think I can still get a couple of runs out of this guy. So I'm going to hold on to it just for a little while because I do have a spare body, but we're going to leave that for a bit of a special occasion. So we'll toss this guy aside for the time being, and I'll just run you through some of the things that we're going to be changing on the truck. First off, we're going to be changing out the shocks. Now, if you guys know, these shocks, these are the same ones that are found on the Tim Associated Rival, and you know, they're okay. They actually function pretty well. I don't mind the suspension, like the suspension travel they have and how they work. Their biggest problem is these caps. You know, they keep popping off because these trucks, both this truck and the Rival, are actually quite heavy trucks. When you do take a bit of a hard landing, the caps tend to pop off, and you guys would have seen when I ran the truck on 4S that these two rear shocks back here actually came off, or the caps came off the shocks. Now I was out on the field, I didn't have any oil on me, but I just basically screwed the caps back on and got the truck running again just so I could get the 6S running video out. But during that running video, these two popped out again. Well, they didn't pop out fully, they were kind of half hanging on, and I didn't notice this until I actually brought the truck home. Anyway, I'm going to be swapping out these shocks. Now, originally I was going to just change out the caps because I have this feeling that if you change out to aluminium caps, these might actually hold up and do a decent job, I think. But one of the things that I've been really happy with that I did to my Rival was changing out the shocks entirely to the MGT 8.0 shocks. Now, because Thunder Tiger actually own Tim Associated, they have their own version of that shock, which is exactly the same, really. At least I think these shocks are exactly the same as the MGT ones from Tim Associated, but of course these are branded by Thunder Tiger. So I got myself 4 of these, 4 packets, and we're going to be swapping these guys out. So I got my work cut out for me. Now I'm not going to show you how to put these together because I've already done a video showing you how to put these shocks together. So there's no point in me doing this. I'll have a link in the description if you want to go check out that video, should you need to know how to put these together. The other thing I noticed when I did bring the truck home is that this rear shock tower has actually got a little bit of a crack in it. Now, it's kind of hard to pick, and I'm hoping that the camera can pick this up, but just on the base there, just look there, and you might see a little bit of a gap open up. Now, it's still holding on. It doesn't look like I don't think I can even physically break it without some brute force. And there's a good chance I could still use this shock tower as it is, even though, you know, performance-wise it's a little wobbly. But I could probably use it just for, you know, maybe some speed runs or just some mild bashing. But, you know, a nasty hit on the rear here, or maybe 2 or so, and this guy might snap clean off. So of course, got myself a replacement, and I'll have model numbers for these shocks in the video description, both for the Tim Associated and the Thunder Tiger, which are, I know, the same shock. Now, lastly, one of the things I'm going to be changing out on the truck are going to be the tires. Now, I ran the truck like this with the stock tires. These are the tires that you actually get. Beautiful wheel, can I say? I absolutely love these wheels. The tires are not really good all-rounders. They have a specific application. You can do some mild off-roading with them, but if you do go into a little bit of loose terrain, or if your grass is a little bit longer than what it should be, these are going to really struggle to hook up. So you do want to get some decent tires for off-road. And when I did the 6S running video, I was running these. These are the Big Joe 2s. But these belong to my Rival, and I didn't really want to change them and put them in here. So I went out and got myself a fresh set of tires for this guy. What tires did I get? I got the Trenches, and these are the Trencher X 3.8 by Proline. I've already got a couple of them out of the packet here for you guys to have a look at. This is what they look like. And you can see it's got a little bit of a tread going around the sidewall here. So if you do, corner or whatever, this is actually going to bite into the ground as well, even as the tire is kind of rolling underneath the wheel. Great little idea there. Now, if you're curious about size difference between the Big Joes and the trenches, let me see if I can. I'm looking at the screen at the moment. It's kind of awkward. So that's your size difference there, which there really isn't much in diameter. What I did notice though is when I lay them down flat and bring them up, you might actually see that the trencher is probably about maybe 5 millimeters wider. That may be due to this tread that they got going on the outside, but essentially, you know, we're talking millimeter difference or so. Like, there's not a great big deal difference between the two. So these are the tires that are going to go on this car. Now, there is another thing that I want to change on this car, and that's the gearing, because somebody told me that the original eMTA comes with a 25 tooth pinion, whilst this one only has a 20. So they've geared the truck down a little bit for this version, which is probably not a bad thing to try and just keep you know, motor temperatures and ear seat temperatures at a safe level. But I do want to gear it up a little bit. I don't necessarily want to go all the way to 25 tooth, but I may try 22 or maybe even a 23 and just check my temperatures you know, for the first couple of runs and just see how the truck's holding up. Because I did find it a little bit sluggish on 4S. Definitely a lot more lively on 6S, but 4S I did find, yeah, it's kind of mediocre. Now, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to get all this done, and then we'll come back and I'll finish off this episode and show you the finished product. Okay, so here we are, finished product. Tires are on, shocks are on. I'll show you quickly. I'll take the body off just very quickly and just show you the work here of the shocks. These actually work very, very nicely. Now, I've gone for 45 weight pretty much all round on these shocks. The only thing I did different was I put a couple extra spacers in the rear shocks just to stop a little bit of the sagging going on. But the suspension now, you know, actually feels really, really nice. It seems like it's going to be just fine. Now, obviously, one of the biggest issues that I'm going to have here by running these massive tires, I mean, these things are huge, is going to be whether or not the steering servo is actually going to hold up. Now, I do have a Savox steering servo that I can probably throw in here, and which I'll probably take out of my Nitro Circus or something and put it into this truck. Should I find that I really need some more accurate steering, which is probably going to happen, to be honest with you, and then I'll put some other servo in that truck. But everything, you know, very straightforward. Of course, you know, the whole thing was a great big mess. I had oil and dirt kind of all over my shock tower, and some of the shocks were, you know, pretty filthy thanks to the caps popping off. So now everything's all nice and clean, ready for another bash. And I think that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it, guys. I'm really happy with this truck so far. Can't wait to run it with the fresh set of tires. Can't wait to even run it with some better gearing, which I'm hoping I'll be able to pick up opinion over the next few days. And yeah, then we'll maybe do some more speed runs with this guy and just see what we can get out of it. But that's it for this episode of RC Pit Stop, guys. Thank you very much for stopping by and watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a thumbs up before you go. Don't forget to check out the video description for more information on the truck, and I'll speak to you next time.